Entertainment station.
Hey, you forgot your cup on top of your car, bro.
Yeah, that sounds right. Here you go. Appreciate it.
Funny close that shit.
He said my hand?
Yeah, is it good?
Yeah, bro. I don't know. I guess it hurts a little bit. I don't really feel it that much.
Oh,
Is it kind of
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, I really know I need to get it worked on. I just don't want to. But I know that, like, if I don't get it worked on now, that, like,
I get fucked up.
it'll be, like, hurting for weeks. You know what I'm saying?
You still like be in the gym? You still stay active?
Yeah, bro. I try to. I don't fucking put on weight. I weigh 225, bro. I'm starting to get back up there. So I feel like I got my. Oh, you said what?
Where do you sit at?
I need to be like. I want to be like 200, bro. I kind of like being like kind of thin, bro. Yeah, slim. You know what I mean?
That's good.
And then
See, this is the exact opposite. I can't ever gain weight.
For real?
Yeah, I can't.
That's a good thing though, bro. Because as you get older, like even now, my metabolism is just different.
Tight shit. You don't burn it as fast.
Yeah, bro. You're not burning it near as fast. So I mean, I just gotta get back on a consistent routine, bro. Traveling and doing shows and stuff. I just been sipping, bro.
We're rolling?
Yeah.
All right. What's up, everybody? We apologize for our absence. We've had a life going on, you know. It takes a lot to get these videos out every week, stay consistent, but we're back. We are currently in Atlanta, Georgia. We have a cool guest for you all today. We're here with Wix Patton. Yo, Wix!
Yeah.
We're ready.
Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're in Atlanta, Georgia right now, and we're here to see what Wix has got to say. These guys are laid back. What's up, man?
Oh boy.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Great, man. Started splitting my finger in half.
Oh, yeah. Tell us a little bit about that. Or whenever you get to that.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Testing. Yeah, bro. First of all, I'm so glad y'all can make it.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm
We're glad to be
saying?
here.
So you said this is the first episode in Georgia?
Yeah, so we came down from Kentucky, and you know, we were trying to kind of find somebody that fit what we like to push, and we think you're a good person to bring on.
Bro, thank you. I think that y'all must have felt that I was born in Kentucky.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
I was
Actually,
born in Kentucky and haven't been back since I was like 1 or 2.
that's actually
Yes.
crazy.
That is great. You go back, bro.
I'm trying to
It's dope there.
What city were you born in?
Mayfield, Kentucky.
Mayfield.
I know.
Wow.
Y'all know what that is?
Yeah.
What's
Small.
Mayfield? What's Mayfield, Kentucky like? John?
Small town. Rural Kentucky.
Anywhere that's not
Good
like,
people, though.
anywhere that's not like Louisville or Lexington is kind of
Yeah,
small.
my parents lived in Murray, Kentucky.
Oh, that's
They
like
were
where
missionaries.
State y'all went to college.
Yeah, well, so they went to Murray. Like, I guess they were out there. Like, that's like where they moved right after college. But oh yeah, so we're going all the way back full circle to my finger.
Yeah.
If y'all can see it, I don't know if they can see. Maybe.
He's pretty much split his knuckle in half.
Yeah, I split my knuckle in half. Y'all know if you got a sibling, brother or sister at home, older or younger, you know that like it's just something in you. I don't know how to describe it, but you just like want to mess with them. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter how old you are. You know, we both live in separate houses, but we're staying at this lake house last night, my aunt's house. So we were together. I woke up. I'm just like everyone else is asleep. I'm bored. It's like 12 o'clock. I'm like, how's everyone still sleeping? So I just go into his room, you know, I start messing with him a little bit. I'm like,
Give him some brotherly.
yeah, like, I'm like, bro, you gotta get up. It's 3 o'clock, bro. You gotta get up. You missed the whole day. He's like, what? So I like see the remote. I jab it into his side like that. And he just like jumped up out of bed and just punched me hard as shit, like right in the ribs. So then that just started like a little brawl. And the hardest punch I threw, I hit the door frame and missed him.
You think it's broken or just cut?
I don't know. It looks cool though.
It looks cool.
It looks gnarly.
So, have you ever really cut one of your tattoos?
Have I ever really cut one of them?
Yeah.
Yes. I think on my finger.
Are you gonna go back and get it?
Yeah, because it like heals messed up,
It's
right?
like it like feels cloudy.
Yeah.
It's like it's not fully your skin back, but it's like kind of there.
So the worst thing I've had happen with a tattoo was this tattoo right here. It's the ski mask with a little anarchy sign, kind of degenerate, kind of crazy, but I got this one, right? Yeah. So I got this one, and I went to go do a show with Waka Flocka Flame in North Carolina. and I got some bad advice. Never put Vaseline on your tattoos.
Oh yeah.
I put Vaseline on my tattoo right after I got it. It clogs your pores. And did a show, and the next day, like, it was super infected, and it took like 4 months to heal. Like, it was just, every time I opened or closed my arm, it would like open, scab up real bad. Yeah, it was terrible.
But so we're in Atlanta, man. How's Atlanta treating you? How long have you been here? Have you always been in Atlanta after leaving Kentucky when you were young?
So yeah, like, grew up an hour south of here in Peachtree City, and went to school out there and grew up with my parents, obviously, and then after that, went to University of Georgia to play football in Athens. So I always, like, growing up would go to, you go to the main city, you go to Atlanta. I visited Atlanta all throughout my life. Like, it was definitely a big part of my life growing up. I just didn't, like, grow up in the city.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't move out into Atlanta until I dropped out of UGA and moved out here. Was really, I mean, I guess I couldn't technically say I moved out here because I was, like, sleeping in my car and sleeping on friends' couches and doing whatever I could to stay active. And because, I left UGA, it was kind of like going all in, but almost like restarting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
UGA was like a big.
That's where I got hot, honestly. Like, I did music all throughout high school, and it just was not clicking. And then I had a freestyle go viral at the end of my freshman year at UGA. And the freestyle I did, like, it went viral on Twitter, and that kind of gave me the confidence to start putting out music again because, when you're getting clowned and the music's not popping off, it's tough. And football came out of nowhere and just, created a new opportunity for me, getting to go play at Georgia. So I put it all in the back of my mind.
How'd that come about? Were you always like an athlete as a kid?
I was always an athlete, but I was always hella short. Like, ironically, I'm 6'6" now, but, like, I was always the shortest one in my class, and so I just kind of struggled. I put the work in, but I think that it was a mix of, like, the talent around us and just me not necessarily growing into who I was yet. You know what I mean? Right. So I went through getting cut 7th and 8th grade in the basketball team. Football team was the only person cut on the team in 8th grade. Yeah, it was, like, the most humiliating thing for me. Like, I remember getting to the school super early, like, before anybody else got there, and, like, reading the list of people that were on the team. It was me and one other kid, and he made the team and I didn't. And he was like, yes! Like, walked in the locker room, and I'll never forget that moment. I just stood there and, like, went back to my dad's car and just cried my eyes out.
Well, I think those moments, whether you see it like this now or not, I think those moments do a lot for your subconscious.
Oh, yeah, they're pivotal.
Yeah, growing up and, like, trying to figure out what, you always have to lose something. Like, losing something always, if you take it the right way, you can gain a lot from it.
Oh, 100%, man. Yeah, like, it ended up being the thing that drove me later on in my career. So I got out here in 2019. I'd say it was 4 months. So I got signed 4 months out of dropping out of college, which is kind of crazy. But I got noticed by a dude named Big Oom, so a record label called Big Oom Records. And through them, I connected with Big Corey and was recording with him, and we just had that chemistry, and he really believed in me. Yeah. We had a consultant named Don Perry who also connected us. We had some different people that were kind of, like, behind me at the time. One thing I always knew, even while I was at UGA, was that I needed a team around me, because I understand with sports, it's a complete team-oriented thing where it's like, if you're trying to do something bigger than you, if you're really trying to go and execute something, then you need multiple people to play different positions to make sure that it needs to be what it needs to be. You know what I mean? I understood that I couldn't wear 10 hats, and I couldn't afford studio time and all these things, and I don't know, I just was somebody who knew I had to make relationships and leverage what I brought to the table amongst what everybody else had, and just, build with like-minded people. So I always had some type of management or somebody. I've gone through a lot of different management. But
did you figure that out early when, because I'm sure sports play a big factor, but having a team is so crucial. A lot of people, they start something and it takes them a long time to start, building a team. But the sooner you can build a team, have more brains on a project, I think it always escalates the progression.
Even if you just have good friends around you that believe in you, that are helping you execute your ideas early on, that's very, very important. And so you kind of, like, almost prove that there's room for other people to come in and be able to like do something. You know what I mean? Like you have to work out by yourself for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, you gotta
build
be
it
able
up.
to show that it's not a waste of time.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And so, and even just you start by yourself because then you know what it takes, so then you can even help grow with the people that you bring in that are better than you.
I think, and I said this on the podcast before, but I think mutually beneficial connections are the best kind to have because it's not like somebody's benefiting off of this a little more, it's somebody benefiting off this a little more. It's like when a group of people can come together and, like-minded and they're driven to the same goal, there's a lot less room for error.
Oh, yeah.
A lot less room for error. But how long into like rapping did you figure out how important that was other than like, being in sports? Because I mean, I'm sure it took some trial and error. You try to do things by yourself and then realizing, bringing people on is going to help me a lot.
I always and early on, man, I always had like a strong passion for like making music. You know what I mean? Like I was always writing in notebooks, notebooks on notebooks. Like, you asked my mom, like I had notebooks full of lyrics and songs, and I was always freestyling with my friends. And I got some of my homies here that I've been rapping with since like middle school and high school. And so I always knew I had it in me, you know what I mean? But it wasn't until I was even when I talked about that freestyle going by, I was really depressed at that time, and I was kind of struggling with feeling like I was like not all the way being myself. And it was like in that moment I was so accepted by everybody, and people kind of like understood me in a way. It was weird, but it was like it gave me the confidence to go back and venture into the thing that I love, because music has given me a feeling that's different than like scoring a goal in soccer or scoring a touchdown in football or anything in my life. Music gave me a different feeling. And my dad, he's a pastor, and he's had a gift of being able to just like communicate, man. And I felt like my gift was communicating through music. And at first, I was pretty trash. Like I was dropping songs and people throughout the community would call me Wix Khalifa. And like my friend called me, I remember from a high school, like 10 minutes away, was like, yo man, you need to take this song down. Everyone's making fun of you. Like it's like somebody just played it in our class, everybody was laughing at you. And I just remember being like, damn. But
that probably motivated you so much.
It did, bro. It's like all these things, like even being booed on stage, I've been through so much of my career, man, that's just showed me kind of like the derivative, how to move through it and how to help guide others, and just how to navigate things as I get through in my career. And I'm just thankful that I've had the time to be able to grow into who I am now before, maybe bigger stages have come for me,
So you'll be prepared in those times.
Yeah, and you don't want to necessarily step into that opportunity, or I mean, obviously you want the opportunities anytime you get them. You just want to make sure that you're ready. So yeah, I always felt like I had it in me, man. It's just when football finally came around, me being cut. So like junior and senior year, I put on 70 pounds from junior to senior year to become a tight end. Yeah, so I got taller, I hit a growth spurt, but then I also just I beefed up. I got really big, and I seen that coaches actually wanted me after my junior season, going and playing football. Coaches started coming and visiting me. And I was like, whoa, I've never had anybody interested in me in sports my whole life. You know what I mean? So yes, I was like, bet. So I went all in. I'm not thinking about the music, but my friends were still making music. So
was that kind of contradicting? Like at first, right when it happened, were you trying to, or were you finding yourself in a spot like, where do I put my foot first?
Well,
because I'm sure
music wasn't working. You know what I mean? So football, it working out was the craziest thing for me, was because I was getting cut from teams. I was always on the bench in rec football and basketball. I was never getting that much PT, but it just changed, man. So coaches wanted to see me that flip the switch. I went all in on football, but I remember being in the studio with my friends who are artists now that I'm close with, and being sometimes so sick to my stomach, bro. Not wishing I had that music, wishing I was making music, and we would make songs, and just it would not come out the way I wanted to. My voice wasn't there yet, you know what I mean? Or just my subject or what I'm rapping about wasn't there yet, because I'm like a fucking 17-year-old kid. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just didn't know how to express myself.
How to communicate.
Yeah, I was learning, you know what I mean? But the passion was always there. So, as I finally got my opportunities and music started popping off for me, I had some songs started to catch wind, and I started getting a lot of plays, hundreds of thousands of plays. I was like, yo, this is gonna work. Convinced my mom, my dad, had to convince my managers, went and talked to my coaches, teammates, and talked to everyone, and my professors. and told everybody what I wanted to do and how I was gonna go all in.
Did you have any of those people kind of like laugh at you or tell you, oh, this might not be the right decision? Or?
At first, they told me it wasn't the right decision, but once I explained my plan and why I wanted to leave and why I wanted to go all in and what the situation was, even with the NCAA telling me I needed to take down my music if I was going to keep playing because I was like violating the rules of my name and likeness. So like that going on, plus just like me feeling like, you know what, like this is what I want to do with my life. If I'm going to really pursue this career, I need to go all in. The people I looked up to, artists, you know, I mean, I had seen they dropped out, and I mean, the guys that were around me, they're the biggest. The football players, like the guys at Georgia, the biggest visionaries, man. Everybody was like, when I get to the NFL, this one, this, like everybody was like, the mindset was when I do this, and I was watching my friends go and do it, you know what I mean, and going to the NFL and going from having no money to making millions of dollars, you know what I mean? Like I was with Justin Fields, for example, like really close friend of mine. Like we used to hang out damn near every day. Our friend group at Athens Ridge and Athens, and all of us were putting money together to get food or do whatever we wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember us being in Los Angeles after he got drafted, or maybe before he got drafted, and him showing me his bank account and just to show me how it can happen. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's possible.
Yeah, so you just gotta stay down. And I had a teammate tell me, like, you know, it was funny because, you know, just like you said, did anybody give you any pushback whenever like you first said you wanted to drop out? My teammate Brian Harrigan was like, bro, if you gonna rap, why don't you just drop out and do it?
So he's like,
yeah, he's like, why don't you just go do that shit, bro? Like, what's this gonna do for you?
Yeah.
And I just remember being like, huh. And I thought about it, and it's like, man, I realized that it's just like, you know, sometimes you just gotta go and you gotta go all in.
First, yeah.
And honestly, like the people that go and that are the most successful are the people that buy in the most.
Right.
And the people that are willing to put in more work than everybody else, and the people that their passion turns into obsession. And
what are some of those like personal doubts that you may have had at the time? Because I mean, bro, I think anybody pursuing their dream head on, you obviously always like you're in this internal dialogue with yourself. Like, what were some of your concerns, and what were some of the things that you might not have been so concerned about because you knew like you had that, like you said, it's what you wanted.
Yeah, I had a vision, so I knew like I wasn't where I was at. I knew that where I was at in the time when I was dropping, I had a song that was popping off called 100 Miles. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay. Like I knew where I was gonna be if I put in the amount of time in the years, just like football. Like if I'm able to put in that same amount of time and energy and keep that same discipline, I'm gonna be here.
Right.
You know what I mean? My music's gonna get better. The work ethic. You know, I knew that I only put in a couple years, 2-3 years. So really, bro, it was just like having that vision. The doubts, I don't know, man. Like I guess maybe just I don't know. There was nothing else I wanted to do. You know what I mean? So as far as doubts.
So it's like your only path is like, if this is what I want to do, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the doubts, I mean, it was just maybe like, I mean, I knew that I needed to get certain things together. You know, I faced so much rejection in my life. So facing all the rejection, maybe that was the doubts, that's where it came from. You know what I mean? From having meetings with labels, being turned down, they don't see the vision. I had this dude from the vice president of Def Jam fly in one night, came to listen to my music, heard it, sat down. As soon as we finished, you know, I'm thinking he loves it. And he's like, well, what makes this any like different than Ed Sheeran? Like, how are people gonna want this other than Ed? Like, you know, he didn't get the music. You know what I mean? And I remember I went out of my car, I'm fucking crying. You know, I've been had tons of meetings, bro. Had tons of different situations where all it did was make me go back to the drawing board. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like you just have to accept that whatever's not meant for you isn't for you, and timing is the biggest thing. And sometimes you gotta look back and be like,
how can you tell though? For some people, like what is that moment where you realize something isn't for you? Because I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that spend many years doing something and they don't realize that until they've already, and I don't want to say waste because I think a lot of things end up leading you to the right thing, whether it's for them or not. But a lot of people figure out that something isn't for them years later. Like,
yeah, that's true.
What would you say some of those things are you can tell?
Or do you think it's kind of like when certain outcomes happen that are out of control. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when things are out of control, you have no other choice but to just be like, you know,
life and shit.
Yeah.
But so I wanted to ask you a little bit more about UGA.
Yeah.
Aside from like, football, music, what did some of those moments in those years at UGA teach you?
Taught me discipline. It taught me work ethic. It taught me just competitiveness and just like, you gotta have that dog in you no matter what you do to be able to like day in, day out, put the work in and push
It's
yourself
like
out
that
there.
time will tell thing.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
how a lot of chasing your dreams and taking these passes. It's
And big thing is possible.
Yeah, you can only do so much in one day, and that's like
Yeah.
somebody like me. I struggle with that sometimes. Like I feel like I need to do so much today, and like you can only do so much in a day. But as long as you stay on the right path, it always ends up. It's like compounding wins.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm sure you've compounded a lot of wins.
definitely.
So you just released a single, "How It Is," right?
Yes.
So how was that? What was the process like getting that out? And then what's next after How It Is?
Yeah, man, I'm in a unique process right now because I told you about me signing and when I did and having that team. We put like 2 years in of artist development. So just creating like 2-3 years, I guess it was since 2019.
Creating an image.
Of just create not only the image, but just like creating so much music and just being experimental and me just being expressive and just growing. And so like the song How It Is just a real song about just like, just me saying I got no fucks to give. Like this is just what it is. Like I don't need anybody. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm just focused on me and my people and doing what I gotta do.
Right.
And as far as like, me bringing up the years of all that work, the best songs I feel like of those different times, picking when to put them out and stuff like that. So like John Wicks, I made that in 2019, but I put it out in 2022. You know what I mean? So it's like I got different songs from different years that I feel like just are the right timing. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
did you know you wanted to wait that long? Is it like a song?
Nah, I needed to grow. It's like I needed to grow with the music. Now I performed it everywhere, but sometimes it's like you just need to keep growing into where like the art is fulfilled to where it needs to be. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't time yet. You know what I mean? As far as like with the videos and just with the mixing and just having the right backing and the right team. And looking back, I tell every artist now, like, if you have a good song, drop it, like, push music and stuff like that.
Well, there's so many components to making a good song.
Yeah,
there's so many components. And, like, what would you say some of those, the most key components would be? Because, like, I mean, you've got music videos, you've got production into the song, obviously the contents of the song.
You said it one more time?
Like, the contents of the song. Like, what would you say some of the biggest key factors of making a good song are? And like releasing it, because like you can make a good song, but if you're like you making visualizers or you making music videos, like there's so much that goes into releasing something.
Yeah, it goes off of intention. What's your intentions with the song? What are you talking about? And then how can you best express and display this vision and give people the imagery? You know what I mean? So for me, I mean, like you said, the most important thing.
Yeah, like what would be some of the most important things that your team specifically might look at when releasing a project or releasing a song?
Yeah, I guess just being like, okay, how does this song, follow up the season, the time of season that we're in, the climate of what's going on in the world, and I mean that's how I go off of feeling. You know what I mean? Like music is such a feeling thing that it's like you kind of know if you like something or not. Like people loved Young Thug before they even knew what the fuck he was saying. Sorry, for even knowing what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? But they love it because of the way it feels. Yeah, and so I believe it's a big thing is just like being able to feel out timing. Yeah. So,
timing is a big thing. What are some things like, I know you got to keep some stuff in wraps, but what's some stuff that you're working on? Some stuff that, we can, your fans and everything can be looking forward?
Man, I got some really dope records, man. With some artists I've always looked up to. I got artists I'm growing with my brother Wyatt. Me and Wyatt Patton got a new project on the way.
Oh, so a family.
The Ripper. Yeah.
That's cool.
Me and my brother make some really dope music. Tons of shows coming up. Me and Roscoe Dash got a collab project. I'm just saying it all. Me and CeeLo Green about to drop a new song. We got a bunch of dope music about to come out, man. And music videos already shot. So it's just we're trying to keep the ball rolling. You know what I mean?
Well, consistency is key.
Yeah, consistency is key, man. And the moment people stop seeing you, they forget about you. So it's like, you gotta just keep pushing the movement, man.
That's like I feel like that's a thing that's only recently.
Yeah, it is a very bullshit. Recently thing.
You know what I mean? Because like
everything's run off of algorithms almost too.
Algorithms and everything's so fast paced. I mean, just imagine there's people seeing especially like if you're like a bed dweller and all you do is you're on your phone or whatever, you're seeing thousands of faces a day.
Yeah.
Thousands of faces, and it's easy to forget somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's a recent thing, which is, it's unfortunate because a lot of good artists, good creators, a lot of people that have valuable things, they get looked over. You know what I mean?
Right. You're right. But you know how it is, man. It's quality and content, and it's just like the people that go the hardest to make the best shit. We're entertainers at the end of the day, bro.
Of course,
so it's like you got to put the time in to make great content and keep pushing it out, because a lot of times we're the voice for the voiceless, bro. You know, we give people that little space of inspiration, or we allow them to take themselves out of what they're going through, or we serve a massive purpose. You know what I mean? Whether or not people understand it or not. So it's like we serve that duty, and there's always people working harder in different cities. So it's just like, you know, the people that usually you see the most are the people that are doing the most work.
Of course, that's just how it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that inspire you the most, even as a child and now?
My friends really inspire me. Seeing people do well inspires me. Seeing people be experimental, seeing people be vulnerable inspires me. Seeing athletes break molds, watching Disney movies and crying.
I like
just
that.
any type like
You like to feel shit.
I cried watching Barbie like 3 or 4 times, bro. I got problems, bro. Like I get so moved by art, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So it's like,
bro, props, because I'm the same way, bro.
yeah,
I
get
love
so moved by art.
Yeah.
I get moved by conversations. Every time I go to church, every time I hear a worship song, I cry. I just get so moved, man. So it's like, I know that me being an emotional person, it allows me to be a great artist. You know what I'm saying? And that keeps me inspired, because it's like I'm able to be expressive like that and allow people to
see you
sit
vulnerable
in those
or
same
see
spaces.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? You have to use it as your superpower. You find out what your superpower is, you know, whether it's expression, or you're good at math, or you're great at film, you're great at capturing things. You kind of find out what that is. I guess that results back to you saying, like, how do you know when it's time to like move on or whatever?
Or if something's for you or not.
Yeah, you kind of just know, because your passion, you love it, you're obsessed with it, but also it's just like, you know.
Something I was gonna say earlier to the podcast. You seem like a deep guy, but I feel like sometimes being deep can kind of be like a double-edged sword. You know, it's got pros and cons, because like being a deep person, I feel like, you know, you can really see things sometimes that other people can't, or feel things deeper than other people can't. But sometimes it's like, you know, things get in your way. Emotions get in the way sometimes. What are some ways that, you know, you stay level-headed and, you know, staying at the journey, being
That's a good
consistent?
question. Smoking weed, probably. I'm just playing. Bro, like anytime, I mean, for me, man, I have to constantly call people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I call my guys in there. I call Roscoe Dash a lot.
You got a lot of roots with
Yeah,
people.
I got a lot of good roots, man. I got a lot of great people that are grounded, that are going to give me great advice. And I also, one thing that keeps me in that space is anytime I need to, I go back and I listen to the things that made me passionate in the first place to go after it and do something. You know what I mean? Like How It Is, that music video I shot. The inspiration behind that was Skizzy Mars and G-Eazy, their music video called Pay For You. I always wanted to have a music video like that made me feel that way, to where you could see an artist that's doing it. And like I watched that music video of them where they're like at the show, you know, they're going through a concert. You're seeing them like what it's like to be an artist, like
real life.
backstage.
Yeah.
Real life. And so I was like, man, like watching that as a middle schooler, I was like, I want to be just like them. So I was like, I need a music video like that
to represent
where
that feeling.
fans and kids can get that same exact feeling. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not necessarily being a copycat. It's just being like, yo, I want to emulate that same feeling that gave me. You know what I mean? That's how I stay inspired with art.
I think paying homage, you know, to the people that did the things
Definitely.
that inspire you before is a big important part of being an artist. You know,
It's a compliment.
there's so much. I want your opinion on this, because I mean, I feel like this is a common topic in the creative space, but like there's so much out there. It's kind of hard not to take inspiration from things. Like it's actually really difficult sometimes to create something that's never been done.
Yeah.
So it's that's why I say it's important to pay homage rather than just copying. When you can take something and, you know, put your own spin on it.
1,000%.
Yeah.
But that's how things are saturated, because I think as like people, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess as listeners or whatever, we're like, we're dying for originality, you know, because
100%.
saturation comes from everybody being
Similar.
inspired or being like, man, I want to make music that sounds like Cardi.
Yeah.
You know, Playboy Cardi, or I want to make music that sounds like Glorilla, whoever. You know what I mean? Things get saturated because people don't necessarily put in the work to find their sound, because it takes so much time to be able to find your
Something
sound
unique.
and grow into who you are as an artist, because it's different than growing into who you are as a person. Because although it's a similar thing, knowing how to express that, you know what I'm saying, and doing it in a way that's you is important.
Yeah.
Like, people love DaBaby. Like, do you remember when he first came out? Like,
Oh, he was popping.
and he was popping like crazy,
Crazy,
because
yeah.
he had a sound. No one else was rapping like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I
Well,
don't know. But it's,
actually, you bringing him up, I have a question. Do you
Yeah.
think that when we'll just use him as an example, do you think that it can sometimes hinder you though? Because I feel like one of the bad raps DaBaby gets is like everything sounds the same after a period
Right.
of time though. You know what I mean? Like, you can create
Definitely.
something creative, but not saying he has to move on, but you have to keep creating from what you start. You know what I mean? Do you?
I agree. Yeah, like, that's the thing though. That's how people last, is you have to be able to evolve with the times.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that actually, that does come from honestly taking inspiration and being able to like be like, oh, okay, yeah. You know what I mean? I love the feeling that this gives me. And the better artist you are is just the better you're able to express something.
Right.
You know what I mean? And switching tonalities and being able to find different pockets and being able to partner with the right producers that know you and your sound and that are able to push you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Push you a little bit outside your comfort zone. But the best songs, man, they come from just naturally just feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
Feeling
and
it
not thinking about it. Like,
feeling it in real life and then being
Yeah.
able to translate that through music,
100%.
through
You
a
know,
music video.
You know, Mo Bamba, like Sheck West, like he recorded that whole thing in one take, and it
Oh,
just
really?
freestyle one take, and it just came from like them getting in the studio. The energy was high, and they just looped it, and he just snapped. You know what I mean?
Oh,
The
my
beat
God.
cut out because they ran out of beat. That's why he was like, oh,
When that
fuck,
song-
shit, bitch, and then he put the beat back on the track, and then he just kept going, and then they
Dude.
were done. They were like, all right, yeah, I guess this is it. You know,
That song is
almost too good to be true.
That song is crazy.
It's crazy, bro.
When that went up, bro, that was the biggest song in America. I feel like, geez, that song blew the hell
like
up.
doing shows, bro.
I wanted to ask you that.
Yeah.
Was doing shows a big part of your like come up?
1,000%.
You said you were sleeping in your car.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a good like time frame for people to understand? Like, you were sleeping in your car, you start doing shows.
Yeah, because I understood the value in shows. I understood that like shows are the opportunity for you to be able to showcase your music to the fullest and leave an impact on people in memory, where like if they come and they have one good night watching you perform, then they become an instant fan. They're listening to all your music for months. They're telling everybody, and they're foot soldiers. So I was going in the negative sleeping in my car because all the money I would make for my shows I was paying in my band or coming out of pocket.
Yeah.
And so I just was the only artist that was paying for a live band at my shows. So I always stuck out. And I always just, you know, I studied performers. I studied all the things that I liked and the artists I looked up to and what I didn't like. And I,
Stay
over
true.
time, grew into who I was. I would, you know, do shows and be like, oh, man, they're really connected to this element. You know what I mean? Are they connected to this? Let me do this. Let me explain a little bit before this song and connect with the people out there that are just like me. Because there's certain hooks that you can throw out to the crowd, you know what I mean? And people will catch it depending on it if they're just like you.
Well,
know
that
what I mean?
relatability in person, like you said, creates the foot soldiers.
Yeah.
Like, when somebody can really understand you and feel you in person, it's a lot different
Mm-hmm.
than, you know, them seeing you on a video on Instagram or on YouTube or something like that. Not that that's bad, but it just creates something a little bit different.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
People out here are also doing, a lot of times will do music for like the lifestyle. And so they don't necessarily value the performance or the art aspect, you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
just feel like you just need to go in there and just be screaming, or they'll stare at the floor and just be rapping. Or, man, like if you give people a really solid time, man, I'm telling you, it'll change everything. And also, like, you also come to realize as an artist, as you do this, that the money that you're going to make most of is from performing, merch, and features. And as I built my brand, I knew that even though I didn't have that many songs out, right, I was going through artist development. I was getting show opportunities because of my platforms. I had a lot of reach. I was able to, I had a lot of people engage with me. So, and I was bringing people out. So in doing that, I just had to keep developing that performance aspect, and that ended up being profitable. And I've lived in this house for over a year now, just strictly off of features and show money.
Hell yeah. I like your spot too.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Yes,
It's
sir.
nothing crazy. Yeah, we're at my house right now. I don't know if we said that already, but I'm
Yeah.
really excited that we're here. And like, this was something I always wanted. That was what I visioned even you know, like a year ago or 2 years ago, like running around out here was like, I wanted to be able to have a place where, you know, all my friends could come after a show, or I could do podcasts here. We could be recording here. We could be up all night. We could do whatever we wanted to do.
Kick it.
Yeah, because I would do a show, man. We'd have like 50, 60 people with us trying to party, and it's late as hell. So we're
And
like
there's
going
nowhere
to a
to
friend's
go.
house. We're going to somebody's house, you know, and it's like, you know
No,
what I
that's
mean?
just not it.
I
It's
need
just-
a
yeah.
hub, man. I need my own little spot, bro.
Yeah,
So it's,
yeah.
I love it, man. It's
No,
just-
I can definitely tell you all have a good time here.
yeah, we have a great time here, man, for sure. But lately, I've been honestly like, thank God, I've been able to travel a lot.
Yeah.
So I've been going to traveling to Nashville, recording my first album.
Oh, a studio album.
Yeah, because
Oh.
I've been
Can
been
you tell us a
doing.
little bit about that?
You said what?
Can you tell us a little bit about
Yes,
that?
I can. I've been dropping straight singles, bro. Like I've been playing the singles game for a while. That's
Yeah.
just what me and my label, or me and my team have felt like that's been the best move. And I really believe that people's attention spans are small, but
Oh, dude, it's so bad.
Yeah, they are.
It's so bad.
But albums are a great way to give you a top to bottom look of like your artistry. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? From the transitions to just a full painted picture of like who you are. So it's
But
just been a timing thing.
you
So
can't
now-
give them too much though, because then it just like
Yeah, well,
You
you,
know what I
just
mean?
you want to do it right, man. And my team feels like they just want it to look a certain way. So I'm gonna keep dropping these singles that I feel like are the best songs I've ever made.
Yeah.
And that was the ultimate point of what I was trying to make earlier. Is that like these songs over the last few years, like I'm dropping the best ones that I feel like fit for that type
for
of
you.
sound.
Yeah.
And I've got all these different type of genres, you know what I mean, that I've created. Because it's like, it's expression, it's inspiration, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we connect to, if you're like me, bro, you connect to all types of people,
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? You're able to go vibe out in all different types of places, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like the music, man, it's just, I'm able to be me on whatever vibe I'm feeling. So it's
What-
just being able to decide which songs and navigate it.
What is there any song on the studio album that like is a crazy sound that like I don't want to say like reggae, but like, you know, something like crazy
That's
like that.
fire. Bro, this album is super like rock influenced. I ain't
Rock.
gonna lie. It's like super rock, rock and just like country and trap. Cause the producer I'm
Yeah.
working with, Scatterbrains, he does projects with Jelly Roll and Yellow Wolf.
I love Jelly Roll, bro.
And Struggle Jennings, so he works closely with those guys, and so he's been kind of pushing me a little bit into a new space. You know what I mean? I've been doing some shows with Bubba Sparks and
Getting out of your comfort zone.
Huh?
Getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I'm
learning a
working
little
with some
bit.
country rappers and stuff, so I'm just like, man, like there's so much I can do, and I just want to be able to try to push myself. These guys play all different instruments, so they're just in there, you know, rocking out, playing all live instruments, and I just feel like it's showing like a new type of maturity in my music.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing I wanted to add too is for all you artists out there, man, like who feel like maybe you have a weird relationship with genre, like me, like you like to make R&B music, hip hop music, rock music, you know, whatever it is, country, pop, alternative. There's space for you to be able to thrive in these lanes, even in the sync world, syncing and licensing, like with movies, TV shows, video games, commercials. And that's one thing that's been very helpful for me over this time is that these songs have been able to place on different like Tyler Perry shows, MTV shows, the new NFL VR video game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, my song was on there. So like different songs will find these spaces, bro, and it's crazy how they take a life of their own. So just continue to create and don't feel like you ever have to be put in a box. It's not like the old days where
Right.
it's like a genre defines your culture.
Right.
I feel like now it's like you can still be you and represent what you represent, but it's like it's just expression.
Well, do you think do you think you can ever do too much, or do you think that's just like nonsense?
I mean,
because
yeah, sorry, what you gonna say?
like over experiment, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
because I think there's a part of it where it's a great to experiment and learn.
Yeah.
It's there's nothing better than learning more about yourself and your skill, right? But I also think that if you can't like be able to portray this this solid image, like if
Yeah,
people
don't
can't
be
tell
something
who,
you're not. People
Yeah,
know
exactly.
when it's fake, and when people can hear when it's fake.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Or when it's not authentic. And so it's like, you know, I definitely am able to find that balance of what I feel like I could jump on. And I'm saying it comes from feeling. If I feel
Yeah.
something from it, I know I could express something on there that's me and that's dope.
yeah,
And that my fans will love. Because and that's what the fun thing is too, though, is like, yeah, you don't want to over experiment and lose track of who you are and what your superpowers are. and what you're able to do. But at the same time, man, like
It's a learn. I think all like experimenting, you have to make mistakes. You've got to try new shit
Yeah.
to actually learn stuff. Because you can only learn so much from somebody saying something or you hearing it over and over. Like you have
Right.
to go. Sometimes you have to go through an experience or go through something that's going to show you a different look on something.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
easy.
Do how big of an influence has it been for you like living in Georgia? Because like you said you're an hour from the city.
Yeah.
And then what was the town that you grew up in?
Peachtree City.
Peachtree City. So I've never been to Peachtree City, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like
It's golf carts. Like
Yeah.
there's basically the whole city is connected through golf cart paths, and people ride golf carts and shit. It's crazy.
so you kind of got like a mix of like suburban country life
Yes.
and then the city. Has that been a big
Yes.
influence on like you being able to go in different alleys?
1,000%. And I've just been blessed to have a lot of friends that have like helped
Help you cultivate.
help me just and like respect and appreciate the cultures in different places, you know what I'm saying? And just really getting to understand people and understand things, and also just like being here in the city, man, like there's so much going on as far as with hip hop, bro.
Oh,
like
dude, this is the capital of the
bro. Like I wanted to be. Like, I'll give it to you like this, man. Like, I was doing a lot of fraternity shows, but then I would go and do, like, an R&B night the next night in Atlanta and go do, like, they would call it, like, grown and sexy vibes R&B night. And it would be,
Yeah.
like, this small little spot, and it's, like, 50 and up, and I'm in there singing.
50 and up?
Yes, bro.
Oh, my gosh.
Type shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of old heads in there smoking cigars and shit, and they got me performing. And then the next night, bro, I might be doing, like, performing with like a bunch of pop artists, you know what I mean? Or like I'm doing all these different types of spaces.
You put yourself in a lot of different eyes.
Yeah, I wanted to be able to like, because I connect with so many different people, I make so many different types of music. I wanted to be able to work with tons of different artists, perform at any different kind of festival,
Right.
and just be able to find where I can fit in wherever I can, you know what I mean? Because my passion runs so deep for this music shit, bro.
Speaking of passion, what are some things that you've gotten to maybe do and experience that you wouldn't have been able to prior to doing music? Like, what are some of the dope things that you've gotten to do? Like, was there a specific music video that you got to do something for that you would have never thought you would have been able to do? Or
Oh yeah, all types of stuff, man. Like I guess just even like being on stage and having people scream for you.
I'm sure it's a very different feeling.
Like that's a crazy feeling. Like I don't know. I guess like really like signing autographs and stuff. Repeat the question one more time. I got distracted.
No, like what are some of the things that you've gotten to do that music has like led you to that you never thought you would have been able to do prior?
Oh my gosh, really traveling, really getting to travel. The people that I've met, the spaces that I've been in, the way I've been treated as far as like hospitality wise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd say that's probably it, you know what I mean? And just like the access, you know.
Is it there's so much to going through the journey. Like being able to appreciate the journey is like such an important part as well.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's something that people undervalue because when it's all said and done, I mean, people go through these journeys for 10, 20 years. And if you don't appreciate the journey getting there, you know what I'm saying? Then once you get there, it's kind of like, it kind of makes it feel a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel
like you can appreciate the journey.
My job is documenting my blueprint and documenting the history of what's going on. Like we're historians. So like me putting out vlogs, me putting out YouTube shorts every day, content is literally just me like showing people who I am and just showing people what's going on every day because I understand the value of that. Even just like not to be morbid, but like honestly, like knowing that when it's over, like when I pass, like I want to be able to leave behind so much
legacy
of like legacy
Yeah.
and things for people around me to be able to watch, and for fans that didn't get to meet me, for them to be able to watch videos and be like, that's who he was, that's how we got through this,
Right.
That's how I did this, you know, like certain jokes, certain personality elements, and certain things that people realize they connected with me deeper than just the music. So then the music hits that much harder, you know.
Well,
what I mean?
I think I mean, so many people use entertainment and music as a way to, you kind of mentioned something like this earlier in the podcast, but they use it as a way to, like, whether it's escape something that they're going through or whether it's to heighten something that they're going through. They're at a party, you know, like a lot of entertainment and music is just like an enhancer to life.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? And I think that it's just an enhancer, and it makes some situations so much better. And it's really good to be able to leave behind stuff that people can appreciate, people can enjoy.
Oh, yeah. Man, like the Lil Peep documentary changed my whole life. When I watched it, I remember I was on the plane ride leaving LA coming back to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I just spent like 2 weeks out there, and that was crazy for me. I got to connect with all these artists and actors and YouTubers, and just was out there the whole time. And I'm coming back, I'm watching that video, man. It just was the most, like, I just was bawling my eyes out. I know I told you I'd be crying, so that probably means nothing.
Hey, bro,
already,
I don't think there's no problem with that.
But literally, man, like, it hit me so hard, and just realizing, like, one, it's so important to document your journey for people, because what the effect that it had on me. Also, Triple X Tentacion and his documentary and all their vlogs and clips, and then seeing how they put themselves out there, you're just able to appreciate it. And realize that there are people that are like you that did it. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's all you need is like, you're working so hard at something and you don't see the results right away, and you want to give up or quit, or you think it's stupid, but then you're watching that person who's so much like you that you look up to. And in my situation, you know, they're not even here, but I'm able to look at everything they did to get there and who they were, how they treated people, how they navigated situations, and it's like, you know,
it teaches you.
It's a free lesson, you know, without you having to necessarily take the L for it.
No,
know?
exactly. Yeah, he's good.
That boy Mac.
What up, man? Yes, sir.
I got some of my artist friends here, man.
You making some music today?
Bros. Yeah, probably. I told them to come through too. I wanted them to connect with y'all.
How often do y'all link up, make music? I'm sure you make music like
we make music
every day.
All the time, man. We got so much music, and we spend so much time even not making music and just talking. We spend a lot of time talking and just bouncing off ideas. You know what I mean?
Brainstorming.
Sharing work.
Yeah.
I mean, those are guys that are like, you know, I don't have a therapist, so those are like my brothers. You know, I'm able to talk to them about literally anything. Yeah. And so we spend a lot of time together for sure.
Yeah, bro. Having a solid team is, some people undercredit it so much. Yeah. Like, I think that's something common in today. You know, especially the internet. It's like, oh, I can do it myself. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? I think it's so crucial, especially when. One of my biggest like things for it is, if you're trying to build something bigger than yourself, how do you expect? You said something very similar to this at the beginning. If you're building something bigger than yourself, how do you expect to build it bigger than yourself with just yourself? Right. You know what I mean? It's a contradicting thought. And I think as soon as people start building teams and they start having good people around them, you know, it like I said earlier, just enhances the process 100% always around.
If you don't mind me asking, how did you get started? Like, what made you start this podcast?
So actually, Molly, we started it, and he came to me. He was like, I have an idea, and at the time I had nothing to do with the idea. He was just telling me about it, and so I was like, oh, bro, this is what I want to do with my life. You know, if you ever need any help, you know, I'm more than willing to help for free. So then he was, you know, we didn't talk about it for a few weeks, and then he came back to me. He was like, I might need a little bit of help with this. And then through time, you know, us brainstorming, having ideas and all this, we had the first episode, and we were on the episode together. And so a few months pass. They were kind of all, when it started, internal podcast. Mm-hmm. And then how long did we do that for? Like 8 months or so? 6. So we did that for like 6 months, and then he stepped off to like really focus on production, and then so now I interview people, and we're here today.
Man, that's dope.
Yeah, it's and actually we'll talk about this a little bit after the podcast, but this is something new, and I want
Entertainment Station, baby.
Yes, sir. I want to ask you a question about that. We'll or this will probably go up later, but so what Entertainment Station is going to be is it's going to be this. It's kind of going to be like a media company. Mm-hmm. And so kind of what we want to ask you is if you'd be down to be the first person to like for us to collab with on it. And it's kind of going to be like, we'll come to you one day and we'll like kind of vlog your whole day, get a bunch of moments, kind of like a real life podcast, but a little less of a podcast. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if you're down to do that one day, we'll definitely have you
great idea.
Do that. And yeah, bro, it's really cool we're here in Georgia with you because it's a legendary one. It's the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I'm telling y'all, man. Y'all picked the Georgia boy.
Georgia
what I
boy.
mean? So you good.
Bro, just the idea. Remix that T-Pain Florida boy shit and make a Georgia boy.
Oh, that would be hard.
That would be tough.
I got a song with T-Pain too, by the way. It's
Oh,
not out,
shit.
though. Yeah.
Oh, that I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Bro,
nah,
we'll have
that's
to the team will have to come to a show.
Yeah,
You
y'all
know
gotta
when-
come do a show. Maybe that's when we'll do our day in the life.
Yeah, bro, actually let's do
We'll
that.
do a vlog then and y'all come to the show.
Yeah, we can do that.
That'll be lit.
What when's your next one? Do you already have it planned?
Yeah, I gotta just look at them all. I gotta look at all the dates and figure out which one's next. But I got some crazy stuff
Oh, yeah.
coming up.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about your tattoo journey. So how'd
we
that
need to talk
start?
about the tats, bro.
How'd that start? Like, did you know you wanted to be covered when you were young?
Yes.
I'm the same exact way. Hell yeah.
My parents didn't want me to wear like chains or get my ears pierced or get tattoos. And I did all of it. Like like my dad, like his thing was like if I ever got a tattoo, he would kick me out of the house. And that was why I was out of the house, was because
Oh, really?
as soon as I dropped out of college, I moved back home and I did one of like the biggest shows of my life. It was a show at UGA. It was a frat, and they have called SAE. And I did it 2 years in a row, but they have a show called Shower Cap. And there's like thousands of kids there, bro.
Yeah.
And I
many
headlined it. I was the last artist that night. And me and like a bunch of the UGA football players came out on stage. I only had 3 songs. I performed it, and it was crazy. And I was like, man.
One of those 3 songs was Go Dogs.
Yeah, that was one of the songs.
Yeah. What was it like performing? Like, you're a football player, you're performing with UGA players, you're performing in Athens. You know what? Like, I'm sure at the time, bro, that there's like you were popping then.
Yeah, it was really crazy.
Like for that scene, I'm sure it was a crazy feeling.
No,
you know what I mean?
definitely. Like, I'm telling you, bro. Like, I went from feeling like unseen my whole life, and even just going out prior to me the freestyle happening, like I would go out with my friends and stuff, and like girls or different people, fans would come up and take pictures with my friends, and I would just be standing there awkwardly all the time.
Right.
And like I got to, but I'm thankful for that, because I got to see and learn how they navigated with fans, how they navigated downtown, how they navigated with these different owners of these different spots, and how to just move. But you know, dealing with all of that, like after time or whatever, shit, I just lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
Well, we started talking about tattoos, and then we got into like how crazy it was in Georgia, like when you started coming up, the song "Go Dogs,"
Yeah.
and like how you were with people, not feeling seen.
Yeah, so not feeling seen. So I wanted a tattoo, like, so once the Georgia thing popped off, the music popped off, I started feeling seen and all that. Boom. Okay, cool. So I started getting attention. I started gaining thousands of followers. That was how my platforms popped off. Was from dropping songs, doing shows, and then Athens kind of getting behind me.
Yeah.
And the college football community. So then, right, I'm being introduced all the time. Oh yeah, this is Wix Patton. He's the football player who raps. He's a football player who raps. All the time, people say that. He used to play football at Georgia.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I cannot be known or identified as the dude who used to play football. That cannot be the pinnacle of how people introduce me as a guy who used to be something. So I'm like, not only that, but I was tired of people meeting me and not knowing what I do. Like, I wanted to be able to, like,
I rap. I mean,
full on be an artist. You know what I mean? And if you're not all the way in, people clown you all the time. SoundCloud, you're a SoundCloud rapper. What are you? They
You said it good.
downplay you and clown you.
You said it good. I think people can tell when somebody's not authentic.
Yeah, they can tell. So I wanted something to wear on my sleeve, on my body, to where people see me and they're like, that's an artist. And I wanted to represent it and wear it proudly.
Bro, hold up. How old were you when you got your first tattoo?
Like 20 probably.
20, how old do you know?
25.
Bro, you've done all this
I don't
in 5
know. Maybe
years?
I'm doing the math wrong. Probably 21 or 22.
And you've done all this in 3 years.
Yeah, I've gone hard. But I took
That's
a year
crazy.
break. I've really done all this in like a year and a half.
Bro,
Pretty
you're
much.
crazy.
Yeah, nah, that's what I'm saying. So
That's
yeah, bro.
so
So
much
I get that
work.
first tattoo. I get kicked out. You know, that was the whole thing. But I was so proud of this tattoo because I was like, you know what? Like, imagine I'm making a kid decision, but it's with me forever. You know, I'm like, you know, what if one day I grow out of it and I want to go work in the office or something? Nah, I had this huge music tattoo with my first ever song on it, 100 Miles. I got that.
That was the first one?
Yeah, this huge
Bro,
one.
no way.
Bro, so I didn't even know like how painful it was or how long people sat. I sat for like 5 hours, bro. Did coloring,
Oh
everything.
my
It was painful as shit.
Bro, I bet you were like having the cold sweats ready to pass
Yeah,
out.
and then not only that, but my dad's like, pack all your shit when you get home.
Oh,
I'm reading
gosh.
these messages and I'm like, You know, I'm sitting there trying
But
to be
I got
cool.
my new tat though.
I'm looking around the tattoo shop. It's like mad satanic and stuff, and I'm just like, my dad's I'm just sitting there like,
I need to go back home.
I'm like, bro, I'm just like, damn, like here we go, bro. Like I done did it. You know, I'm the black sheep.
Yeah.
I'm the bad child. So, anyways, get that tattoo, bro. And after that, it was it, man. I wanted more, so I just kept getting more. And this was a guy named James Armstrong. He was tattooing a bunch of our teammates. So then I get the neck tattoo. Boom. When I got the neck tattoo, I was only supposed to get Hollywood, like down my neck.
Yeah.
And instead, or is this the heart? Is this the heart?
That's the heart. Yeah.
Yeah, so I get confused. I was only supposed to get Hollywood, but then I convinced my tattoo artist to let me get a huge red heart with a gold flower going through it, and it was way too big. So getting that, I remember everyone freaked out. Like my mom, my girlfriend at the time.
I can assume. I would assume so.
Yeah, like my girlfriend cried, and like I felt like she didn't think I was attractive. That shit sucked. And then my mom saw me, and she's like, "You look hideous. You were so good looking. You look hideous." So I'm like, shit. So then after that, I take some time off tattoos. I'm convincing everyone I'm going to get it removed, lying. So I'm just like, they'll get over it, you know. Yeah. And then I meet this guy through my buddy Simba the Ripper. He was hanging out around me a lot. He's an artist I have a lot of albums with now, collab albums. And so me and him, I'm seeing him. He keeps getting tatted. I'm like, bro, you look cool. Like, what's going on? You know, we're living the artist lifestyle already. Like, we're already every day, you know, doing shows, recording, doing whatever we need to do, moving around. We're fully 100% living it. But I'm like, man, I want to represent it. Right. I just needed somebody just like a manager or maybe a studio, somebody to believe in me enough to be able to like rock with me, even if I don't have the money right now. Right. They see where I'm
the
going.
Vision. Yeah.
See the vision, want to invest in me, and see that maybe I could help them in other ways, even if it's not necessarily the hugest financial gain right now. So I meet this guy named Threat over at Ink 9, and through my buddy Simba, he takes me over there. And the first day we go over there, he tattoos my name on my hand, Wix. I have my name tatted on me like 4 times, by the way, which is probably super conceited. And I have like 3 pictures of myself too, which is super crazy.
Whoa, what?
Yeah,
so
bro.
Is this one right
I got a Wix Patton face right here from Can't Believe It. Yeah. I got a Wix Patton face that's on all my other cover arts, animated. I just got 2.
Well,
I just got 2 Wix Pattons. That's fine.
I think if it's tied with something that you've done, it's all right. It's not. It's not like you have a self portrait. If it was a self portrait,
technically, it's a self portrait. Technically,
okay, I get what you're saying. Technically, but that I think it's different. Like
Steve-O. Is that
oh my god, I wasn't gonna say that, but bro, that was.
He has a
crazy.
huge back tattoo of his face. Yeah. I just say self-portrait because I feel like it sounds conceited and it's funny. I like trolling. So, yeah, like, I don't know. He believed in my vision. He gave me this first hand tattoo, right? Mm-hmm. And after that, you know, he gave me a really good price. And I was like, you know what, bro? Like, I want to keep rocking with you. And from then on, like, I was in there every week. And then it got to a point where I was in there 3 days a week. Oh and then it got to a point where it was like my tattoo artist, like I came in one day and I was like pale in the face and I was shaking. I had all these tattoos healing all over my body. I think I had like 13 tattoos healing
at once.
Yeah, and he was like, nah, you gotta take a break.
Yeah.
So then we brought it back down to like once, twice a week. But I'm so committed, man. Like I'm telling you, I went all the way in because I genuinely have seen it work for other artists. I've seen it work for them where it's like if you believe in something for yourself and you go all in to make it what it is, then you'll see the success eventually to where you want to go. So I wanted to be fully covered, and I'm damn near there, bro. And,
well, I think
and it was just me being committed and being with Threat and us working it out.
Do you plan on keeping it how it is, or do you like, for instance, my arm? There's not a lot of like blank space, like a lot of filler. Yeah. Do you plan on keeping it kind of like patchwork style?
Yeah, I do I'll probably get fillers around it, but I think I'm probably too late to be able to make it as like synced up. But I love that style of tattooing.
I appreciate it
a lot, especially the black and gray. That looks really, really dope.
I got a little bit of red in there, just a little bit.
That's cool.
Just a little bit of red.
Oh, that's dope. See, but that's the cool thing about black and gray is you can go back in on color later
and add some.
And I have a bunch of different black and gray tattoos as well. But yeah, I mean, you know, I get called middle school desk. I get called MGK. I get called Lil Peep all the time, every day. I get called it when I go to college campuses and shit like that, or different places or shows when people
always
me.
say something.
But you know what? Like the thing that I don't care is that like I love the fact that now I'm seen and I'm fully comfortable that I always wanted to look on the outside on how I felt on the inside. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm able to fully express myself with my tattoos and my art. So
I like that one right there. I think that was super sick. The lady with her eyes covered.
Oh, this one right here? Oh, this one.
No, yeah.
Yeah, this one was Young Thug influence from his album.
Butters.
Yeah.
Barter 6
Or the album that has
I know exactly
we run
what,
out the ditch, we run out the bullet. Yeah. The one where he has like the bandage over his eyes
Yeah.
and the blood's coming down. So I mean, bro, man, like tattoos are a great way of expressing yourself.
Yeah.
I'm a very impulsive person, I will say that.
yeah.
How
do you
Yeah, I'm
you
very
knowing
impulsive.
that, does that ever make you like, because I feel like I'm honestly the same way sometimes in
Yeah.
some ways. Like I'm a pretty impulsive person. But does it ever make you think like, fuck? Do you ever have those moments?
I mean, I'm running out of space now. And so like also a lot of these tattoos, I 99% of my tattoos I didn't plan, and I just was like, I'm going to get tatted today. And
Yeah.
so we would just go, fine, smoke a blunt, and then we would like bounce off ideas.
Yeah.
I would give him like 3 ideas, and he'd be like, I feel like doing this one. So then we would do it. Or we'd be hanging out, and he'd be like, it'd be funny if I did this. Okay, let's
Yeah.
do it. Or I'd be like, yo, what if I did this? And he'd be like, let me do it. So he's like just Sharpie stuff on me. He's freestyle stuff on me. I've been like accidentally nicked by the tattoo gun several times.
Oh, that shit hurts.
I've had all types of stuff happen, man. Like I have like, let me just take my shirt off because we're talking about tattoos.
This is a first, I think.
I
First time
got my belly button blacked out.
Oh my god.
So they like my tattoo artist casket. He filled my tattoo. He filled my belly button up with ink, and then he just dipped it in. Yeah, and then just like
Bro, that makes me,
tattooed
like,
my whole belly button until it's completely black. So yeah, you see it, bro. Like this was the most painful spot right there.
Oh, right
like,
above
the
the
lower
crotch.
you go, the more it hurts.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I understand how much like the image is important, and I love the way that it looks. I
Yeah.
love expressing myself.
Now that you're about out of space, does it make you sad? Because like, bro, I'm such a big believer in like doing the process of doing stuff sometimes is better than like the end of it. Now that you're almost done, is it kind of like, fuck, bro, I just want to go get tattooed. You know what I mean?
I fight the struggle to not tattoo my face every time I go to the shop. Like,
Yeah.
I really want to tattoo up my face. Maybe I will in the future.
Well, I mean, bro, I have this right here, and nobody
Do you have
ever
that?
sees it.
I have it too.
Yeah, nobody ever sees that.
Yeah, I have that behind the beard. That's like my last tattoo.
Yeah. Nobody ever sees those though. They're
They
kind
don't
of like,
see it, but it was
Yeah.
just it doesn't. It's just cool, bro.
yeah. I mean, dude, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about face tats. It's kind of one of those things. It's like,
It's,
well, especially in the career you're in, it's definitely acceptable.
Yeah.
It's more of like if you want that, like if you,
my
you know what I
family
mean?
doesn't want me to do it. That's the reason why I fight it. My family, like that's like their dying wish is that
Yeah.
I don't do it, and that they love my face. They don't want me to tattoo my face.
Yeah. No, I completely understand
Yeah,
that.
but I can't help it, man. I guess it's just that, a lot of different perspectives from people. People
Yeah.
will view you a certain way, and they'll automatically characterize you. But I feel like people will do that to me anyway. So it's just the fact that you
people
can't
always-
go back once
yeah.
you do it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not like clothes. It's like you
Yeah.
wake up, it's there forever.
I can't
so-
sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Is there anything that you want to say to, you already said something, but is there anything you want to say to any aspiring young artist,
Definitely.
anybody that looks up to you, any of your fans in particular, straightforward to them?
Yeah, I want to say support the people around you, and definitely take time to listen to your peers and focus on your vision, focus on your goals, and genuinely, if there's anything that you want to do out there, it's 100% possible as long as you come up with a plan, you execute it, and you take the necessary steps to make it happen. And remain humble, but also remember who you are, and remember you got that dog in you.
Yes,
Every
sir.
time you hit the stage, you're the best artist on the stage.
Yeah.
Put in the necessary work to make sure that if you are going to do something, that you do it 100%. That way people, can be able to see who you are and what you do. And you never know who's watching you, because
You never know.
you
For
never
real.
know when that little moment might change your whole life. You never know who's in the crowd. You never know who you're talking to. You don't know who you're talking to and who they know. And so it's just like put in the work. Also, I know I'm talking forever.
No, bro.
Don't be Mr. Networker. Like, it's good to meet people when you're out, and it's good to do those things, but make sure you're putting in the work and you're not just out partying all the
Right,
time,
behind
being the
closed
guy
doors.
who's known for being out. Make sure that you're being known for the work you put in, so that when you step out,
People know
like
you.
Yeah, like for me, that's a great gauge when I step out to like how many people come up to me or say something to me. I hope that tons of people come up to me, ask
Yeah.
me for a picture, talk to me about my music, tell me they're a fan, because that's just recognition for what you're doing.
You put in the work required, and
Yeah.
you're getting the fruits from that work.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so focus on what you're doing and don't get caught up in the partying that people are doing. Even though I know, just like I get hella FOMO when I'm missing out on stuff, but I promise you, like the partying and all that stuff like that, it feels better when you're celebrating, and it feels better whenever, you're doing, you know the work you've put in, you
Yeah.
know you deserve it. So
Well, I think partying too much in general, it just makes it less valuable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with partying.
no, there's
But when
nothing
you
wrong
do
with
it all the time, every time you get the chance, it's like it makes it not as meaningful. You should, like you said, it should be a celebration, not just another day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's a big thing.
Set yourself up, put yourself in position by putting the work in, man.
Agenda.
I
And there's been
think-
some sort of like everything's being pushed with some sort of ulterior motive, and like even down in Christianity, and people are like questioning their own truths now because everything's being questioned.
On the pod, I think people nowadays are literally craving realness and like real value and real substance. But it seems like everything else is pushing us away from that. It's like everybody knows what we want. Like everybody wants to have good conversations.
But what
everybody
they're
wants to be on the same
what
page.
they're pushing at us is not
Exactly.
really what we
So
want.
it's like this big fucking argument between
Fans
nobody.
Right.
It makes it seem like there's this big argument between society and individuals, but in reality, the individuals are what create the society. You know what I mean? It's a really weird dynamic. But we're rolling, so if y'all want to.
Are we rolling right now?
Yeah.
I'm on live, looking
You
weird.
said everything from now on camera.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, I just said that. All right, well look, so we good?
Yeah.
I'll set your phone up somewhere for you.
There's also just a fucking oversaturation of everything.
Yeah.
Like down to like whether it be marketing for food or like whether it be artists, whether it be cameramen, whether it be like I feel like there's so
People
many.
just have a hard time making their own decisions on what they like, not what society likes.
That's that's facts.
Like,
I'm a-
the majority of the time, people like something is because other people.
I'm gonna speak on what you're talking about. Okay, so you're talking about artists are pushing like satanic imagery and stuff like that to get a reaction. Like, what's the end game out of it? Like I'm not Christian. Like, I'm Hindu. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I have like a different perspective on all of it because I feel like it breaks down to symbology, a lot of it too, or symbolism. So it's like I could look at something like the devil, and we would have the same concept in my religion. But when people start talking about Satan, I don't really recognize that as something I was taught when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean I don't believe in good and evil. So I feel like when people use this imagery, bro, it depends. Like, what are you pairing it with? Like when you look at like somebody like Lil Uzi, like he's at like. And I have nothing bad to say about Uzi, but I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Like, he's like at the Kids' Choice Awards, but then he's going to go over here with a stripper, with a big booty. He's going to be upside down crosses. He's going to be,
Shout out Uzi.
I made my girl satanic. But all of that, too, this is me, a Hindu, saying that. What does that even really mean to me?
Right.
He's just kind of booted up. I'll be in the same room with you, and we'd be cool.
He just
But
following
that's
the
what American
bag.
culture is kind of built on. Like we don't
You know what
have
I'm
any,
saying?
like it's been celebrities and stars and news and media. That's what like and your soul is attached to music. Your soul is attached to like the television as you're watching it and you're learning things. And
It's
you're
the
digesting
moral.
entertainment. Yeah,
It's
for
the
its
moral
source. And so,
aspect, bro.
We
We're
thrived
all.
on entertainment as a
It's the moral
government,
aspect.
like-
Like, what are
Yeah.
kids even like nowadays
like-
with the whole like Kai Cenat shit that happened? Like, what are kids even like? Kids just like rioting.
Well, I think that's a problem with like.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what kids do now. It's like, oh, let's go riot.
That's unfortunately, it's a generational thing though.
Yeah.
Because it's how you're raised. Like, for instance, if your parents teach you good morals, right?
Yeah.
You tend to carry those morals on with yourself and into your children. But there was a time where lots of people lost morals, and we're on the back end of that 2 generations late, where the majority of people don't have strong and powerful morals to keep them good, keep them on the right path. I think it's a problem that we had 60 years ago, 40
Yeah.
years ago, and everybody in this room is a byproduct of that happening so long ago.
Maybe everybody's just
You're right.
confused between what morality
You're right, bro.
is. Like, no one even knows what morality is because there's such an like influx of information that we're digesting on a daily basis. Like maybe like, you know, before like I might run into whatever. Like you can talk about what time was like before, but there's a tale to say about it because like if you're not having as much information fed, like what is the truth? Like people are embedded in that truth, but like in today's world, like you can believe something and see something in 10. You can see something in 10 seconds that completely debunks anything you thought about what you thought before. And so like, I mean, what is real? What is the truth?
I think the
What-
best thing to say, even though we're all in it, bro, I think
But that's the point, right? Confusion. Excuse me. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. I think it's important to understand how the internet works, but understand that it's not a safe place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody's got a spot there because especially in today, like there's money to be made, there's business to be had on the internet. But being just a consumer, you've got to understand that it's not the safest place. Like there's people pushing bad agenda. There's people trying to confuse people. It's really like, I don't know. We're all kind of on the opposite side of it because we're not just consumers. But for those people, I can
trying to push it out. Like
no,
we're trying
exactly.
to have our own.
That's like part of my job though, is I'm trying to instill good values through my message. I'm trying to instill those good properties through being able to give people a spotlight that I believe in.
It's not just even about on the consumer producer level, bro. It's like if you look at like history and stuff like that, right before like Rome fell, they were in like the state of the most decadent state of society. I feel like that's where we are right now too. If you look at different things that are going on in culture, let's not talk about it too much, but you know what people are doing with the way they identify, the way that you can say certain things, and it's almost illegal in some places and stuff like that. But we don't have to talk about. But you know what I'm saying. We all know what we're talking about. So that makes it so that we're just kind of like in an age of chaos, bro. Everybody is in a chaotic state. It's not gonna go back to where everything was organized again. It's never gonna be white picket fences, and you go have a job.
Or was that a fake image?
Yeah.
Because the world's a fucked up place. Like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to see the good and everything. I want to see all the white picket fences. I love that, right?
Yeah.
But the world from the beginning has been fucking kill or be killed.
Yeah, that's propaganda too. I'm right. No, you're right, but I feel like it's way more chaotic than it's ever been. And I think it's just the beginning of it, bro. I think we're like maybe in like 100-year cycle where it's just gonna keep getting more and more chaotic, bro.
Dude, it's so fucked. It's so fucked.
If you ever read Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, I think we talked about this before. But if you go read Brave New World, you'll see what reality might be like in like 2030.
You know, actually, now that you say that, I feel like I've heard.
You probably read it in school.
No,
I didn't read in school. I think the idea of like all I hear my parents talk about is like it takes a village. So like if my parents are at work or something like that, I'm at bro crib. If his folks is at work, he's at my crib. Like we're watching out for each other. Our parents are watching out for each other, and our parents have good morals and values. And even if my parents aren't his parents, but they're still treating
helping
him.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I think that idea of like I don't know, really just
help your community.
Help your community and like just put trust in other people. Like now you just hear about so much weird stuff going on at other people's houses that you like, nah, I'm not letting my kid go to sleep over or go here. But like sometimes you need to have like I don't know, just other.
But is it happening more, or is it like just being like
pushed as a propaganda?
No, not even yet pushed as propaganda, but also just being outspoken on more. Like, are more people just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's been a tale since like the time, like whatever you know what I'm saying? It used to be whatever weird shit like goes on like with like that shit has been happening.
Always
I feel
happening.
Like, forever. It's just like now we're living in a time where it's like
everything's televised,
everything's
and shared
in your face, televised, shared, and like people will speak up about some shit and like take it to I don't know the lengths of I don't know.
It's a lot of I don't want to say oversaturation, but it's just like people speaking too much on something they don't know the length of. You know what I mean?
How did we get all this?
I don't know.
Where did this
start? But
I'm so confused, bro. I don't even know what y'all talking about.
But
we're talking about
I mean,
wrong
I
and
think,
fucking
I got lost, bro. I've been waiting.
It goes around
we've
and
been sitting
around.
for 10 minutes. If y'all want to introduce yourselves, Wix, if you want to like do that introduction, be like, this is my squad, this is my crew, this is who I rock with, and then y'all can kind of go in for a minute, 30 seconds each, and be like, this is what I do, this is what we got coming up, and promote that show. You know what I mean?
For sure. You know what it is, man. It's your boy Wix Patton. I got my guys with me, man. You know, day ones. My boy Autobahn, my boy Forever Juice, my boy Malcolm Ambrose. Super, super talented artists that I like to hit the road with. You like to make music with. Just want to bring them on the podcast so y'all can see these guys, check out their music, and hear a little bit about them.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, y'all tap in with me on the gram. Malcolm.Ambrose. Just how it sound. That Malcolm got 2 L's, though.
and they don't come after one another. I'm Forever Juice. I'm a recording artist, songwriter. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, College Park, and raised with these guys in Peachtree City, and it's my family. We got a show on May 31st.
Not May.
August.
August 31st.
I'm geek, bro.
Hey, look, that's how hard we've been
Going
working,
back
man.
in time.
Nah, that's how hard we've been working, man. We don't know what month it is, what day it is. What's today? Tuesday?
We saw like 4 blocks back
It's
there.
August 8th. The show's gonna be August 31st, 2023.
For sure.
So if you're still watching in that time length, you
We don't
can
even
pull
know
up.
when this gonna be uploaded.
What can
Yeah.
they expect?
All right. Yeah. Before all that, my name is Autobahn. I'm a recording artist, producer. I DJ. I've been DJing for a long time. I love to DJ, and I got a few songs with that boy Wix. Me and Juice always. We cooking up some shit. We got some stuff in the works. So it's really it's this whole squad, bro. Like we really like just friends, bro. It's not like, oh yeah, we just work. It's not just working shit, you know what I'm saying? We just like to hang out and shit too. Like we like to be productive when we hang out, but and on the productivity tip, I got a pop-up coming up on August 31st in Atlanta. It's going to be at Chill Studios. That's just CHIL Studios. If you look it up, it's going to be in the Metropolitan. Just like a bunch of like lofts and stuff over there. It's a pop-up for my brand. It's called Vale's Castle. So you can follow me at Autobahn, AUTOBHAN ATL, and my brand is called Vale's Castle. I'm going to be dropping this shirt right here. It's got these like, I don't know if you can see it really well because it's like a lot of light, but these rhinestones are like blue. It's this 5 shirt. I'm going to be dropping it there exclusive. I'm probably going to make them more after that too, but you're going to be able to buy it there. That boy Wix going to be performing. Juice, Mac, myself, and that boy Bear One Boss. He's going to be there. It's gonna be lit. My boy Task Force, he's gonna be DJing. It's gonna be lit. It's just gonna be fun, and we're gonna have a lot of liquor, all that.
Hey man, I wanted to say something on behalf of my boy Wix. We all been making music together since probably we was like our senior year of high school, probably 16, 17. Wix was the first one to start making music. Him and my boy Collier, he's not here right now, but they was making music together. And me and Max started making music together as well. And it's kind of been like a crazy journey starting it from such a small town where it was like so frowned upon to be anything other than going to college for real. And yeah, the ordinary. And to see how far Wix done taken it and to see how far all of us have grown as friends and just as well as artists, it's been a crazy journey. Yeah, young men for real. And that boy Wix has done a lot to inspire me and show me more just about like this industry, about being a recording artist, about the journey. Bond has shown me shit about this. Mac has taught me something about this. So that's why this shit is really like a family. It's bigger than just
that's facts.
Music. It's bigger than just chilling. It's bigger than, it's like we all got kind of the same adrenaline motive to make some shit shake out of this world. And I feel like, yeah, man, it's just really dope to see where this shit is going.
Yeah, I wouldn't have met them if I didn't meet Wix first. I met Wix in the elevator at my building. He was crashing at my friend Tyler's spot.
Man, see, I told you that was before I had a place. I was just crashing wherever anybody would let me stay at, bro. But that's what it takes, man. Like I'll tell you what, like these guys were with me like before I had a crib. Like they were letting me stay with them. They were there at every single show. Like they've always had my back. You know what I mean? Like they've always rocked with me. So it's just like I'm not in the position, like I said, where I feel like I needed like network or meet other artists or anybody like that, because I got my people with me. Like I believe in what we're doing. I believe in our music, our hustle, our work ethic, that I really got us over anybody. So it's like, you know, I love meeting and connecting and building with great artists. But like when it comes to just like anybody's cosign, we don't need nobody's cosign because, you know, we already know what we're doing, what we're bringing to the table. So we're just excited to continue to give y'all more music and more energy, more vibes, and we just want to connect with our fans and find y'all, meet y'all, and just really just continue to just meet up with like-minded people. You know, we just one community, you know what I'm saying? And obviously we all come together from the music, but it's so much deeper than that. Sometimes it's hard to meet people in the real world that you feel like you really connect with, but if you come to a show, I promise you're gonna meet lifelong friends. You know what I'm
Weird
saying?
out here in Atlanta, man. It's tough. You know what I'm saying? Not tough, but
Everywhere,
people are
though.
weird everywhere. I mean, yeah, everywhere for real. It's different folks, different strokes, different folks. Like it's a different